I'm just trying to incorporate it into my mix now, because the more the merrier, you know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Do I need to add you on the stage?
No, welcome to the main stage, Timothy, to the main stage.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Did that mean we didn't have audio on the outside? Sorry about that.
Well, just to YouTube.
Okay.
Are we broadcasting to YouTube this
today.
week? Okay.
Nice.
Okay, it's fixed. Okay,
So
I'm putting out there.
We should be good now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Look at that. Everybody's getting some?
Oh, my gosh. This has been a crazy tech last 2 months for us. Me and Jimmy have been going through the gauntlet right now, but... Oh, I'm sorry, Johnny.
What are you
totally stepping on.
No,
Did you say who I was?
No, I haven't gotten all the way through it. No,
it doesn't matter.
No,
I'm just some guy.
We started talking Kwanzaa and whatnot.
I know.
You're concentrating on the computer, so I'm trying to stall.
I know you are. You're doing a great job.
I'm doing the best I can. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Johnny C., that's me. Hi. We do have our fearless leader. It's the holidays, so a lot of people are out and about.
We got to do the clap again one more time. I'm sorry. I know this is really screwed up, but we didn't have the audio. So we got to do the clap.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead, do the clap. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry, everybody. It's we almost didn't have this show because we only have a skeleton staff, the best staff, right? Johnny and Jimmy.
As I was saying, it's the holidays. A lot of people out and about and missing. But hey, we try to stay live for you guys. And give you some important information as well. Try to entertain me, Johnny C., Jimothy, our producer extraordinaire. Of course, our fearless leader, 13 years now. I've told you he runs a top producing Keller Williams team. In fact, we'll have an anniversary celebration coming up very soon. There's Jimmy D, Jim DePolo with the Florida Home Pros, Keller Williams Innovation. Hey, hi, Jimmy D. Happy Kwanzaa.
Take a little breath.
What breath for what? It's radio. It's radio.
My alarm was set. It went off, but it was on mute. So that defeats the whole purpose of an alarm.
Truth. This is true.
I woke up. I'm like, how come the sun is out?
So you, like, from the moment you got your 10 toes on the floor,
the whole time.
That sucks.
Yeah, and I got here at like 8:52.
But you stopped and got Dunkin' Donuts. So I mean, you did have some time.
I had to have my Dunkin', man.
Well, yeah,
I didn't get any food
because that's not 2 seconds in and out. I mean, that's.
I know the people over there. It's like you got to go fast this time because there is a big line. I'm
I mean, you had some time.
But it's been a little crazy the whole week. Just wanted to say, we have a really good, a lot of good information for the show this week, Johnny. We're going to talk about foreclosure rates in the country and find out where Florida is.
Okay.
We're also going to talk about the golden window right now for buyers. So if you're a buyer or thinking about being a buyer in 2026, you got to really listen to some stuff we're going to talk about the golden window for you to buy right now.
Nice.
But first, I want to start off that me and Jimothy have been really buried a lot trying to get the YouTube channel up and running again. We had a little break for about 9 months because I had some stuff going on, but now we're back at it again. We're getting a pretty good response overall on Facebook. YouTube hasn't been as nice to us yet, but all the Facebook people, thank you so much. I'm getting so many likes and comments on those Facebook posts. But let me just give you some.
Well, and if you don't realize the impact of that, by the way, it really helps out the overall growth of the viewership, the people that see it. The more you like and share, Facebook, YouTube, it doesn't matter who it is. They're like, oh, okay, it starts to pick up more and more, and it gets thrown into the algorithm a little bit more. So that's very, very beneficial, and we thank you for comments and likes and shares. That's great.
And everybody that's responded to my request for Google reviews for Florida Talk Real Estate LLC, the Google reviews, we've gotten a really nice response on that. So thank you, everybody, for your kind words about our show or us just helping you. One person signed up, and this is what I'm hoping to get more of. Jim and the team or Florida Talk Real Estate and the team, something like that, gave me all the information to me, and I didn't spend a dime, right? It's like they called up, they asked for advice. We gave them the advice they need. They were really satisfied. They just put a little, the payment was, and I didn't ask her to do this, right? Just give us a review. If you thought that we gave you good information, but you didn't need to actually use our services, or you just like the show, give us a review. Let other people know what a great resource we are. That's what I'm trying to do.
Totally.
So let me just give you some little bit of headlines of some of the Facebook stuff or Facebook and YouTube stuff we've been putting out, because when people hear the headlines, they might start thinking, hey, I got to go check that stuff out a little bit more. The one that came out this morning was called Eliminate Property Taxes, Create a Housing Crisis. So that's where we're talking about what the effects would be about property taxes and how it would affect housing prices in the state of Florida if they really do get rid of the Florida property taxes. Another one was I'm out of here, Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia, which is the best state to pick. We had another one, bye-bye New York, hello Florida. That's Mike and Colleen, who had bought in Orlando. They listened to us from YouTube channel up in New York and decided to buy down here. So thank you so much. Johnny C's got the clap. The Fed cut the rates. So where's our cut? We have dozens of these just coming out. We have about one a day coming out right now. I think we're going to continue that. So even if you miss the show, you're going to be able to get these little shorties. I call them shorties. These are 90 seconds or less. We're putting out on YouTube right now what I call the middies, which are 3 minutes to 15 minutes. That isn't picking up as well right now, and I'm trying to figure out why, because we're hitting the right subjects, but it isn't being disseminated enough by YouTube to figure out what's going on. So I got to fix that. I think it's camera work. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is our podcasts, right? So we're taking this live radio show now, and we're taking out some of the commercials and stuff and tightening it up a little bit. And then we're adding chapters and timestamps. So, and then we're uploading the video. It usually takes out about 20 minutes of the 2-hour show by taking out all the cuts. So the show's shorter, but there's a lot less. It's almost all meat, all protein, and that's it. No carbs, right? And then on top of it, if you just want to get to the point where it's like, I want to find out about down payment assistance program, you click the button and it takes you right to that part of the show where Mike's telling you all about down payment assistance programs in Florida.
Nice.
So that podcast, it'll be a really great resource for people. So start getting used to going to Florida Talk Real Estate LLC on YouTube. And everybody on Facebook, thank you for supporting us. We get a huge amount of response every time we put something on Facebook at Florida Talk Real Estate.
So we're calling it podcast, but the place you consume it is on YouTube.
Yes, and it's going to be a separate section called podcast. So there's going to be live, and the live shows are what we're doing right now. And the problem with that is because there's a 5-second delay on the radio. We look like I call a Godzilla movies from the 1950s, where our lips do not match what we're saying. But the podcast is going to be synced. It's going to be tightened up. It's going to have chapters and timestamps. Everything's going to be there. So if you really want to consume it,
YouTube.
I know that Jimmy, one of the people that works at his company where Jimmy works, besides here at the studio, that guy, he listens to it every week. Chris, thank you, Chris. And he said he puts it on 2-speed or 3-speed, and he just blows through.
I think it's only 1.5, but the idea is he speeds it up enough to where it goes a little bit faster. He can still get all the information where the pitch of our voices goes up a little bit, but not too chipmunky, but it's enough to be able to get through it a little bit better, a little bit faster for him when he's driving around.
Here's the thing. I hope I shouldn't say this. I'm going to say it. Next time I call Chris up to say hello, I'm going to talk 1.5 speed. Just so he's used to knowing it's me.
Yeah, it'll hit his ear just right.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do that, especially like a Rogan, right? Where it's a long form podcast of 3 hours. Right? So
3 hours.
So people listen to it in 1.5, 2 time, and who cares if it alters the voice a little bit? You're still getting the same information.
Sure. You're like, I'm in the car for an hour and a half. I got to speed this up.
Yeah, exactly. So anybody check out our YouTube page and our Facebook page, Florida Talk Real Estate LLC. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And always remember, Florida Talk Real Estate is .com, your one-stop real estate shop, FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
It's been a little slow, just being real. I'm always real on this show. It's been a little slow as far as showings for my properties and things like that, but I think it's across the board. It's been very slow the last 2 weeks, which kind of is expected, but this season was actually slower than I've seen other holiday seasons years past. This one's been particularly slow. Think that's very interesting. We're going to talk about why that's a great thing for buyers. So I wanted to mention about a couple of the properties I have on the market right now, just to refresh people, let them know. I do have somebody that called on one of my properties yesterday, the Airbnb in Jupiter Beach. It doesn't have to be an Airbnb, but I call it the Airbnb in Jupiter Beach. What's unusual about this one property, it's a townhome. It's literally a half mile from Toes in the Sand. You could walk there. There's all these parks around this this townhome. It's a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-story. It's a totally smart home. Everything in the house, pretty much, you can turn on and off by your phone wherever you are in the world, as long as you have Wi-Fi. And it's generating about $50,000 a year in income as an Airbnb right now. And it was kind of by accident. The person bought the house. The person bought the house because she wanted to live there. And then life changed in a good way. And then she decided that she was going to turn it into an Airbnb because she didn't know what to do with it. She didn't really advertise it that much. And the next thing you know, she's making $50,000 in income a year from the Airbnb.
Beautiful thing.
So right now, there's about 45,000. There used to be 50, but there's about 45,000 that hasn't been spent on the Airbnb yet. It's already booked. So we were figuring it out. And if somebody bought the place cash, the taxes, the insurance, and the HOA would be covered just through the Airbnb for the whole year. So
for the bookings already for next year?
Yeah, all the bookings are set up so you wouldn't have to pay taxes, insurance, HOA, that you could just take it out of the Airbnb and live there for free, like when it's off, and just use it as your vacation home and have it covered. So there's a real opportunity there. So if anybody is interested in that, please let me know. I've had a couple of Airbnbers call so far, and they've come out and take a look at it. But the last 2 weeks, it's been dead. I got my first... Well, actually, I got 2 phone calls this week about showing a couple of my properties. I'm like, really, 2? So anyway, this year has been extremely slow for buyers. We're going to talk about what that might mean next year. The other properties I wanted to mention, now that property's on the market for $795. It's a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath townhome. It's about 1,670 square feet under air. And it's got amenities. You can't believe the amenities all surrounding this property. You could basically walk to, if you wanted to, the Jupiter Marina Entertainment District. That's what I call it. Jupiter should steal my idea. They have all these great restaurants over there, Guanabanas, Utiki, jetties. They have fishing charter boats there. You could rent jet skis and kayaks and things like that. And what do you call the boards with the big sail on top of it?
Big sail on top of it?
Yeah, the thing that where you sail around, surfboard with the sail on it. What's the surfboard with sail on it?
You know what? I know what you're talking about. It's almost like a glider,
Oh my
parachute,
God,
right?
No, I'm just talking about the regular sail where you're sitting on the board and you have a little sail.
Yeah, what do they call those?
I can't. If Ross was here, he'd be embarrassing us right now.
Damn, I haven't thought of one of those things in so long.
Whatever they're called. So surfboards with the sail. You can rent all of that stuff. Yeah, what did you say?
Is it a sailboard?
No, it isn't, but I don't know what it's called. I can't believe I don't remember.
I don't either.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I ever knew.
No, I know. But it's going to come out. Yeah, but anyway, that property is awesome property, $795. Walk in, get $45,000 back over the year after you buy it. Imagine buying the house and then the property just starts giving you money back after you buy it. I love that. So anyway, anybody interested in an investment property?
So it's called windsurfing.
Windsurfing.
But it's sailboarding. Yeah.
But they also call it sailboarding?
Yep.
I thought windsurfer. That's what I would call it, windsurfing. Then we have 2 more affordable places. And the interesting part about these places is they kind of, they're kind of 2 completely different type of lifestyles, but they're priced around the same amount. So we have a Century Village property for $149. It's a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. It is on the market for $149. It's a very nice unit. It's ready, turnkey ready is what I love about it. We have a call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me just finish the one thing, caller. If you could just hold on and I'll get right to you. So we have Century Village for $149. That is a really great turnkey ready unit. So if somebody's looking for that, they're on a budget, $149 in Palm Beach County is pretty cheap. Then we've got the Carlton Court property up in Colonnades. This property is
Fort Pierce.
Yeah, Fort Pierce. I like calling it Hutchinson Island and South Hutchinson Island. And that is a total Florida experience up there, living up in that little enclave up there in South Hutchinson Island. This unit is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. It's a waterfront community, but this building is definitely not waterfront. But all you have to do is walk across the street and go past a building, and you drop your line in the Indian River. It has tons of docks for people who want to come and bring the boats overnight. I think there are rentable docks there also. It's got an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Is that the pool that was used for the Marines or for the Navy?
Navy SEALs, yeah.
Yep, and that was for which they were training there for a specific campaign, right?
So that if you go to the UDT Navy SEAL Museum, it explains all about their usage of that pool.
Of that
right
pool?
there, yeah. That museum's there on the island.
So it used to be there used to be a military base over there, and there's tons of restaurants over there, happy hours galore, really good food. I've eaten over there a couple of times.
From what I hear too, the resurgence of Archie's is in full swing too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there was a lot of concern when Patty passed away and what was going to be the future of Archie's, and it looks like the new ownership is
doing it
very much in the mode of trying to keep Archie's spirits alive.
Well, I hope they do.
That's an iconic spot there on South Hutchinson.
It's like a soul of the,
it is
I mean?
the soul of the island, yes.
So if you want that Florida lifestyle, like the totally Florida lifestyle, but at an affordable cost, this unit, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, turnkey ready to go, is only $195,000, right? So if you just want that Florida lifestyle, but you don't want to spend the big bucks and everything, and you want to come back and forth from somewhere else, or you just want to live there full time, you'll make friends left and right as easy as you want to make friends out there, because it's always something to do on that island. So all those properties are great properties, all different price points, all different parts of the South Florida region. So if you're interested in any of that or some other type of property, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you.
Florida Talk Real Estate on Facebook. Hit us up on, of course, the old .com, the one-stop real estate shop. That's probably the best resource. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. We got the hotline there. You can call it 888-973-7828. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, answered by a live body. Of course, fill out the contact sheet on Facebook. Lots of ways to get involved. When you need pros, buying a home, selling a home, stuck with a home, don't know what to do, anything that touches the world of real estate, we got a professional for you. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Of course, when we're live on a Saturday, you can always join us toll free, 877-927-6969. Who done did that, Jimothy?
Well, his name is Steve, and he's got a question that really probably applies more to Mike, but we'll see if we can help him out. He has a question about the Life Changer loan that's out there. Steve, welcome to Florida Talk Real Estate.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Steve, how's it going today?
Good. Hey, I just wanted to get your thoughts and if you know much about those Life Changer loans and if it's a good idea or refinancing.
Have you ever heard of a Life Changer loan, Charlie?
No, it's new verbiage to me.
I have not either, Steve. So I'm being, but it's okay. What I'm doing right now is I'm Googling Life Changer loan, and it's all over the place. So I'm not an expert in this, is what I'm trying to tell you. But it's kind of interesting. Can you tell me what you heard about Life Changer loan or what piqued your interest in it, just to see if it's legit or not?
Well, what I've heard, and I've done a little bit of research on it, not a lot yet, but is it basically you get, like I'm going to refinance and you get 80% and you get an equity line of credit, basically, and it pays off their house because my house is worth a lot more than I owe. So I get 80% and then all my money goes into this, you get a bank account. And every night at midnight, I guess, all your money goes right towards principal until the end, instead of like a 30-year mortgage where you're paying interest for the first,
first 20 years or something. Yeah.
And my only thought is I got 2.75% interest on my house.
Mm-hmm.
But they're saying even with a low interest, this is going to just blow that, because you're just paying, basically you're using your equity to pay your bills, I guess, every month, but all your money that just, all your checks, everything goes right into this bank account, and I guess every night at midnight it goes toward the principal of your home.
So I'm trying to think,
or your loan.
I'm trying to think because this is all new to me.
Yeah,
And
it's
obviously
brand new to me.
all I am is the lead and the last voice you hear on the show. I am just the air traffic control, right? Not one of the pros you reach out to here. But how do they make money? Because every one of these loans is about making money somehow, some way. I'm trying to figure out how they make money on this. And that's where it worries me.
They say there is interest on the end, but there's no balloon payments or nothing. But on the end, there's interest. But as the loan goes down, the interest will go down.
You know what I think this is? You know what I think this is? And I'm not sure about this, Steve. This sounds almost like a reverse mortgage that you can pay off early.
Yeah.
My parents were in a reverse mortgage. Might put them in a reverse mortgage when they felt it was the best.
Well, that's what I'm wondering about, because like I said, I don't want to jump into something when I got 2.75%.
Yes, that's the other thing I was going to say.
I'm not going to get that back,
Exactly. And when you said 2.75, do you know that the lowest recorded Freddie Mac at the time on the Freddie Mac page was 2.65 in 2021? So you're 0.1 above. You're at the 0.1 above the lowest ever recorded. That's pretty cool.
We were going to the end of COVID is when we bought the house because we were renting it, and it just started. It started going up and up and up in value. I'm like, we got to get this, and so we ended up getting it for a really good price. And then now everything in our neighborhood is just way above what I paid,
Yeah.
And plus with the interest, and I don't want to lose that, but I mean, by listening and what I've read, this life changing loan makes sense, but
so this is what we could. This is
it usually is.
Yeah, it makes sense. This is what we could do for you, Steve, if you'd like to do this. Okay, if you give Jimothy your information, we're gonna. You already got it. Okay, great. We're gonna get Mike Rao from the mortgage firm. I'm gonna reach out to him on Monday. He's off today. There's some big soccer game today or something. Johnny, is there a big soccer game today?
I'm not a soccer guy. I don't know what you're asking me.
Yeah,
for.
me neither. I didn't know. I thought you. I just thought.
Oh yeah. We talk
sports,
soccer.
I think you.
Hell.
I think you of everything. I think if we talked about.
Oh yeah. Soccer, hockey. We talk the big ones.
Badminton.
That's a massive audience out there.
But what we can do, Steve, is we're going to get Mike to give you a consultation to figure out what a life changer loan is and the pros and cons of it. Okay. I promise Scout's honor right now that he's not going to try to steer you into anything. He's going to give you the advice you need, and then you can make a decision what's good for you and your family. Promise you that.
Yeah,
okay.
Perfect. That's what
that's what you really need right now, because you've got a really low interest rate on your loan. You don't want to make a mistake, as you've already mentioned, but you also are looking to the future and trying to see what's best for your long-term financial outlook to make sure if there's a way to pay off the house earlier or something that it would be good for you. So I promise we'll get you to Mike. I would not do anything until you talk to him, but I think it's going to be, we're going to talk about this next week when Mike comes back, because I've never heard of this loan before, and it's kind of interesting, and this might be helpful to people.
It looks like it's actually like a company, lifechangerloan.com.
They're advertising on our station right now. Matter of fact, if you want, I can play their commercial.
And as I look into it, it looks like it's basically a HELOC product.
That's what it sounds like with the 80-20. The 80-20 sounds like a HELOC.
Yeah.
So,
but it doesn't mean it may not be a benefit to you.
Right.
That's where you need the professional guidance of the pros pro.
Yeah, because I would have, if that's true, Johnny, what you just said, and I believe it to be true because Jimmy says there's a commercial running. I would have my radar up about one company offering this product. It might be a great product, but you really want to make really understand everything before you make a decision.
Into it, Yeah. I want to. This is too big a deal just to leap without any education on it,
Yeah.
So
okay. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and do that, Steve. Jimmy's already got your information. I'll reach out to you. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to reach out to you on Monday. And when I call, if you don't answer, I'll just leave you a text message. Then I'm going to ask you for a couple more pieces of personal information I don't want to talk about on the air. I'm not going to ask any income or anything. I'm just going to give the information that Mike needs to do some research so that he can call you back with real information. And then Mike will give you the advice that you need. I promise whatever the answer is, you're going to be satisfied because he's going to handle you right.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate all the help and advice and upcoming advice.
Appreciate you being out there very much. Happy holidays and Merry New Year. And thanks for being with us on a Saturday. It fits perfectly, Jim, with my kind of thinking. So in the last couple of months, my radars are way up to see where is it going to be? Because right now, so many people have a ton of equity and they're kind of strapped, right? And it's specifically, you start to get into retirement age. You talk about fixed income. Many people have what I would consider fixed income. If you work your 40 hours, like, you know what your check is.
Yep.
It's only so much you can do, minus getting another job, right? Kind of have a fixed income, but specifically fixed, like they're retired, they know what their monthly nut is, but they're sitting on a nest egg in their equity. I'm waiting for, and I don't want to call it predatory because I don't think it's negative, but I'm waiting for the condition, and we're ripe in our country where you're like, hey, get your cash out of your house. We've seen it before. We've been through cycles. The last couple I remember was, you deserve the boat and the vacation. Like, they were really urging you to spend it frivolously, right?
Countrywide. Remember Countrywide?
Boy, I don't think that this is that. This is do you need access? Do you need to fix something on your house? Because these products are always there for you, right? Home equity line of credit, HELOCs, home equity loans, those are always available. But to advertise specifically, like, hey, get to your, those are the telling tales for me. And I was waiting for it to really start. And this might be the kind of the kindling that's getting it going. This is advertised on the station.
Yeah.
And that's, again, it doesn't mean it's bad by any stretch, but what it is to me is one of those canary in a coal mines. It's like, hey, this is happening.
It could be a sign. It could be another sign.
Yes.
We have other signs.
Because it's only going to interest people that are sitting on a ton of equity. That guy's got 2.75% interest. Why would he even consider it? Because he has a fixed income. Maybe he has some projects that he's been kicking the can on at home. Maybe there's a roof due. Maybe, again, any homeowner that's been there long enough to get the equity, have an amazing rate, you have some projects that you're going to have to do soon, if not now. That's a reality of being a homeowner for a long time. And if you don't have the cash, how else are you going to get it? Again, I don't view it as negative, but I view it as that's a sign
of the time.
It is. I've been waiting for it. And there's kind of the first glimpse.
Yeah, we're going to get into a little bit more of that this week, but next week we're really going to dive deep of what's going to happen next year. Next year and next week is going to be our anniversary. So next week is going to be the 13th anniversary. Actually, it's going to be the beginning of the 14th season, January 2nd, right? That's the way I look at it, 14th season, right? So we just finished year 13 on the show. We have not taken a break through the whole thing. When we first started, we were the youngins on the station of non-professionally produced iHeartMedia stuff, and God knows we're not professionally produced. Sorry, Jimmy. But now we're the old dogs here. 13 years. We are the main show that's been around. It's live. It's new every week. It's not recorded. We're not selling you stuff all the time, and all you're hearing is buy, buy, buy. We're here to get you information, get a couple laughs, kind of check in with us, see what's going on in the market, learn a couple things. Yeah. Right? That's what we're here about.
And if you do need to buy a home, sell a home, you're stuck with a home, you don't know what to do, or have an issue that touches the world of real estate, we have a professional to handle that and so much more. That's just the icing on the cake, I guess.
Yeah, I really feel like that's the bonus. It's like, because there's a lot of podcasts out there that do talk about real estate. Not all of them will actually help you with the real estate you need, and not just one thing. We're not a one-trick pony, because this is a team of professionals we built together over all these years that all work together, but they're not in cahoots with each other, meaning like, oh, I really want you to go to Mike because I'm going to get paid extra money. Or Mike's like, hey, you got to go to Jim.
Yeah, there's a referral fee tied in. No, that doesn't
We're all
exist.
just regular professionals, all doing our normal stuff that we would do every day, but we trust each other, know each other, give good work.
So that is a real thing in many industries, in the legal world, and there's a referral fee that happens. That's not the way it works with the Florida Talk Real Estate team. It's all about getting the right information and making the right decision for you and your family. And if it happens to be something that can be done through the team, I think the best examples over the years are when I hear like Mike in specifically or Ross, like, hey, that's a great quote. I would go with that. That's not me. That's a different company, but that's fantastic. And that's what you should go with. Those are the moments where you're like, yeah, these are the people. These are the ones right here.
I just had a call from a friend of the family. A friend of somebody in my family. I've never met this person, but she needed to sell a house in Central Florida. I just helped somebody buy, Brian. Brian, if you're listening, Happy New Year. I'm going to call you later this week, buddy. But I helped them buy something up in Central Florida. She was selling in that area. So I know the area better than I do other parts of Florida because I just recently closed something there. So I knew how hot or how strong the buyer's market, was it a buyer's market, seller's market, what type of houses are moving and what are not, that kind of thing. She had a newer, older home. And what I mean by newer, older, and that's a new term I'm going to come up with right now is newer, older homes, because when you have a resale home, you're being undercut a lot of times by the new construction.
Sure.
So even if your house is only 5 years old, you might consider it's like basically it's a brand new home. It's only 5 years old, but in today's market, because of the property values changing and everything, a lot of buyers, without your knowledge, will understand that. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my camera and it went close up. The buyers have a lot of choices out there, and you think your 5-year-old home is worth this price because you paid X for it, but then a buyer will go out and look at brand new construction never lived in and find out they could buy it cheaper, and it's really undercutting the market. I felt like she was in that position, so she said she called me about a month ago and she said, "Can you tell me what's going on with my property? Why can't I sell it?" And I gave her some advice, and then she asked me if I could be the realtor. I said, "You're under contract. I really can't do that. You have to wait till the contract ends or you cancel the contract, but that's up to you. I can't be involved in that." But I did give her a second opinion of why her house wasn't selling. And then she said, "I'm going to wait till December 31st and I'm going to hire you." Well, last week she called me up and said, "I got an offer. It wasn't what she wanted, but I felt it was a very fair offer based on my experience just being up there a month and a half ago." And I told her to take the offer. I go, "You stick with that realtor and you finish the deal and you close out. If you can get that deal closed, that's what you do." And she goes,
because if I take your listing and we get that offer, I'm going to suggest you take that offer.
And we might get less.
Yeah.
And we might get less. I can't guarantee we're going to get better than that offer. So I'm not trying to do it for me. I'm telling you your best situation. And she's been on the market 9 months. Right. She's been on the market a long time.
Yeah, take that.
So waiting for me until the end of the year and starting the whole thing over again, I couldn't guarantee that she would get better results. So I'm like, you should just close with that person. And that's what we do over here.
And, hopefully they're in a position to make sure that thing closes.
And if it doesn't, I'm always here as a safety net at the end, right? December 31st, the contract ends. But I don't want that to happen because in her situation, it would be better to get the house sold and move on.
Of course.
But that's the difference of what we try to do here.
Well, you brought up safety net. And that's one of the things I was going to mention is I love how this team always tries to build in safety nets for whatever you're trying to do. In some situations, they just can't exist. But there's that the analogy over the years, a little waterfall situation. Like there's always got to be some contingency plans that if this can't quite happen, we're going to do this. And oftentimes it would be in situations of more distress with your home. But in any situation, you want to make sure you have a plan B and a plan C if plan A doesn't work out. And that's one of the really awesome things about going to people that are not only good at what they do, great at what they do. That's part of making you great at what you do. Preparing for the unexpected, right? Expecting the unexpected. And you see it so much. That's experience in the market, even though what's got you?
I'm sorry. You just said expecting the unexpected. I thought a Kentucky Fried Movie.
Oh,
Have you ever heard? I know. Is that
that's
wild?
what you thought of?
That's 40-something years ago, guys.
Wow.
Do you remember Kentucky Fried Movie?
God, no.
Oh, my gosh. Anyway, there was a running gag. It was, I think, Steven Spielberg made that, or the Farrelly brothers, the Farrelly brothers or Steven Spielberg. But anyway, he made this little short. You should check it out one time. It's pretty funny, but it's a bunch of little short bits. It's like a short bits of bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a running theme that you should always expect the unexpected, and then that somebody would die in the script that made no sense. It was like breaking the third wall. And then somebody would die, like one of the actors would die in the movie.
Third wall or the fourth wall?
Oh, is it the fourth wall?
Which wall are they breaking?
I don't know. Maybe I want to know what the third wall is now. If the fourth wall.
So fourth is when you're connecting with the audience and you're talking right to them.
Yeah. So maybe I guess it's fourth wall. But anyway, when you said expect the unexpected, I expected an arrow to come through and shoot one of us.
That's funny.
That's what happened in the day.
I wonder if that hit for anybody out there too. They're
Anybody
like,
has to see Kentucky Fried Movie, you got to do it. Yep, you got to check it out.
FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Get your Kentucky Fried Movie references, all that you need at FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
Hey, I got to fix this camera stuff. And Steve, thank you for giving us a call. Other people, give us a call. We're live. This is a real show. It isn't a rerun. We're here ready for you today.
Kind of like a real show.
Kind of. Everything's a little effed up today. But what we're going to do is the next thing is we're going to talk about the golden window. We're in a golden window right now. And if you're thinking about buying, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then later on, we're going to talk about foreclosures in the United States and find out where Florida's ranked.
And just so I paint the picture correctly here, if I'm looking out the golden window and it's raining, am I looking at golden showers?
I don't know. I don't have the answer for that, Johnny.
FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Know it, use it, love it, share it on Facebook, share away, consume on YouTube. Florida Talk Real Estate LLC. Ton of informational chunk videos. We live stream on a Saturday as well on Facebook and YouTube. Man, there's just no excuse to not consume away. Get yourself completely educated from the pros on what's going on in the real estate market in South Florida. And of course, they can touch so much more. That is the reach. Yes, touch it. No, you're gonna love the touch too. Mm-hmm. Touch. Experience the touch. Very soft, gentle touch of the pros of FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. We got a 4-minute reset. Thanks for being with us. It's the 27th of December. Happy Kwanzaa. I hope your holidays are going phenomenally. Merry New Year. We're back in 4 minutes. Florida Talk Real Estate right here on Real Radio.
Here's what's happening with the weather on Real Radio. The bad news, the brain isn't all that great at hearing stuff and remembering it. The good news, you can watch us too. Like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Real Radio 92.1.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Carl. Conditions remain beautiful for the rest of your Saturday. We have a few more degrees to climb before we hit our afternoon highs in the upper 70s and lower 80s. And then we're expecting a nice sunny afternoon. Now overnight, we see another nice cool down, dropping us back down into the 50s and 60s.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Indeed Sponsored Jobs gives your job posting a turbo boost. Match with the candidates you're looking for, making your hiring simple. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Again, that's Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, it's your boy Johnny C here, host of Florida Talk Real Estate. They're tops when it comes to helping people buy and sell houses. But Florida Talk Real Estate is so much more than that. For 5 years, I've watched these guys help thousands of our listeners with any real estate need. They couldn't do it without their sponsors, who are experts in their fields. Check it out. Jim DePola, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Their team specializes in helping people sell their house for top dollar, and buyers get great deals on the purchase of their home. That's what they did for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier that I hired them for my real estate transaction. Mike Rao from the mortgage firm is one of our favorite guests on the show, and he is the mortgage guy. Whether you're looking for a refi or a mortgage to purchase a new home, Mike Rao will get you the answers you need. The mortgage firm is licensed to do loans in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, and they have local offices that cover all of South Florida. So if you're thinking about a refi or a new mortgage, go to the mortgage guy, Mike Rao, and find out what he can do for you. The Mortgage Firm, Inc., NMLS 189233, Florida license MLD 78, equal housing lender. The law office of Paul A. Krasker has been specializing in real estate law for nearly 25 years and has the professional team you need. Upside down with your house, Paul's team can help you conduct short sales, loan modifications, even if you're behind on payments.
They also help you with foreclosure defense and bankruptcy. They can even help you get a student loan modification and repair your credit to get the score you need. Paul's full-service team has helped thousands of our listeners, and they can help you too. Trident Title LLC is the largest privately owned title company in Florida. When you need a title company to complete a refi, home purchase, or sale, Trident Title has got you covered. Not only do they offer competitive pricing, Trident Title has attorneys on staff to make sure if you have bumps in the road declaring title that you can get the job done. Beware, not all title companies in Florida have attorneys on staff. Trident Title does and complies with all the new federal regulations released last year. Ross Camaronets, owner of Brightway Insurance, has been helping our listeners get great rates on homeowners insurance plans. Haven't checked your homeowners insurance policy in a while? This is a great way to help reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Ross can also help with renters and auto insurance. Ross is only a phone call away and can usually get the answers you need same day.
Call Ross today at 561-425-6228 or drop by his office at 873 Donald Ross Road in Juno Beach.
So now you know why I'm happy to be part of the Florida Talk Real Estate Show, the longest running real estate show in Florida. And all these sponsors are just a phone call or a click away. Just call 888-973-7828. That's 888-973-7828. Or go to floridatalkrealestate.com. That's floridatalkrealestate.com. And don't forget to use the most accurate search engine to find your new home or ask for a free home valuation because floridatalkrealestate.com has you covered. That's floridatalkrealestate.com.
You're listening to Real Radio 92.1, and we are an iHeart radio station. This is Florida Talk Real Estate with Jim DePola and Johnny C. Got a question for the show? Call us live at 1-877-927-6969.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it. I dare you. Double dog dare you. 877-927-6969. Yes, I've seen a few Christmas movies in the last couple weeks. Yes, I'll probably continue to do just that. Johnny C., that's me. Timothy's our producer extraordinaire. Have you watched a few yourself, my friend?
Don't forget the rubber sheets and gerbils.
You do Polar Express?
Actually, really, it's gotten down to Christmas Vacation. That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's
every year, but and Christmas Eve. It's becoming a Christmas Eve tradition. So
I think if you're gonna pick one, like you're like, we get one, that's a pretty good one. I really like the newest version of the Grinch. Was it the Cumberbatch one?
Is that the cartoon one?
Yeah,
That
it
looks
is.
like
Yeah,
a cartoon. I just saw that this year.
I like that a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. Yeah, I'm such a dork when it comes to Christmas movies. Well, Polar Express I didn't really consume it this year. I'm kind of bummed I didn't. But that's the one where you're like, yeah, it's Christmas.
Yeah,
it's finally Christmas. Yeah.
I mean, there are a bunch that are worth watching. Don't get me wrong. It's
For
just,
sure.
it's a time consumption thing. But I always have to make room for Chevy.
Love it. Yeah, it's very quotable. And it's very much a part of our lives.
Oh, it is quotable, all right.
Very much a part of our lives. Again, I'm Johnny. Timothy's right there. And, of course, our fearless leader here on this 27th day of December as we are live on this Saturday. Jimmy D, 13 years now, I've told you, he runs a top-producing Keller Williams team, the Florida Home Pros team with Keller Williams Innovations. What's your go-to Christmas movie?
I'd have to say Christmas Story.
Christmas
Like if
Story?
I was only stuck with one movie I had to watch, then it would be Christmas Story.
It's up there for me too. Like I watched it. There was a few times it ended, and I'm like, here we go. Let's go again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make it all the way through the second time, but I always loved that.
I always loved that movie. And then, the guy who wrote it was from Fort Lauderdale. So
I did not know that.
Yeah, Bob Edwards.
Interesting.
He also wrote Christmas Story, and he wrote Porky's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he did Christmas Story and Porky's.
How about that, huh?
Yeah, Porky's was first.
Was Porky's based in Florida?
Yeah, it was based in Fort Lauderdale. It was based on the Fort Lauderdale Flying L's, like Fort Lauderdale High School.
I thought I remembered
But they named it Angel Beach or something in the movie or whatever. But the guys, I was talking to some older guys down in Fort Lauderdale in their 70s, and they say there was a Porky's down there at one point. They're
no
saying
way.
that
I believe it
that there
100%.
really was something out in the Everglades that was a Porky's type of place.
So I remember as a kid watching Porky's. I remember as a kid falling in love with Porky's, right? For all the right reasons, right? And then the follow-ups, of course, yes. Yeah. And then I remember moving to Florida, and I remember going, that was like a documentary. Like that really happened, I'm pretty sure. Like all the way, like maybe down to some of the details. I'm pretty sure that really happened.
Well, my wrestling coach and the football coaches at our high school were all actual real life classmates of Bob Edwards, and they all played football together. But he changed it in the script to be a basketball team.
Okay.
So he changed things around.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I remember my coach.
But I bet you some of the names stuck. I bet you there was like a meat. I bet you there was a meat.
There was a meat.
Yeah, it was a meat.
Or a meat head.
Meat was Coach Gordon. I knew Meat. Meat was my wrestling coach.
That's hilarious.
And he was pretty mad when that movie came out because I was just graduating when the movie came out. And
if this is too dated for some of you, that's an easy
you
Google
gotta
search.
pick it up. You gotta watch it once.
It's classic.
If you like raunchy stuff,
it's classic.
It's a funny. It's a high school raunchy.
Oh, total raunchy. Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, it was based. It was based in a Fort Lauderdale theme and everything.
Porky's,
like yeah. But Christmas Story was. If I had to be stuck and I had to watch one every single year, I couldn't watch anything else. It would be Christmas Story. I like a lot of them, but I like I love Christmas Vacation. I'm more of a Las Vegas Vacation guy, but I like Christmas Vacation too. I like the characters better in Las Vegas Vacation. Elaine in that other one, Julia Louis-Dreyfus and the other guy that was the SNL guy.
Yeah.
I didn't really like those characters that much for some reason.
No?
Why is the carpet wet, Todd? I don't know, Margo. Talk about quotable. And it's also one of the movies that for some reason, every time I watch it, there is something new or something I didn't really notice or pick up on so much. And you pick up on it. And then my brother loves the movie too. So we'll go back. We'll have a phone conversation and all we're doing is quote. All right. It can be like that for a length of time. And he was telling me a story this year when we were chatting that there was a scene cut out that I wonder how good it would have been or how bad it would have been, right? So you can just think about it. So when they're going to get the tree in the very, very beginning, right? They're going out and they got it. And then there's the line, did you bring a saw? And then that's where they played a boom, the drum, like, I screwed up. And then the next scene is them driving with it. Well, apparently there's about a 1 minute bit that they cut out of there that had Red Fox sitting in a rocking chair, and Chevy goes back and says, do you have a saw or something like that type thing. And I wonder how good that would have been. I mean, Red Fox is, you want to talk about a funny mother effer, right?
I
mean, he is good. So I can imagine what kind of a line he would have delivered, and it's almost a shame. So it makes you really want to go and see some of those scenes that have been cut out of movies. I mean, how many times have we seen that? Even in what was the Cannonball Run, right? They made it famous for having the outtakes at the end, right? And you get to see some of the things that really didn't end up in the movie, and I love those things. I love documentaries about movies where scenes have been cut.
That was behind the scene director cuts would be awesome. But maybe, just maybe, they don't give it to us because maybe it's not as awesome behind the scenes as we think.
Could be. Yeah.
But I would think it would be a hoot. I would think.
Sure. I mean, let's face it, most of the time it's time restriction. Yeah. Otherwise you'll have an 8-hour movie, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think we're getting a call, so I don't want to get it right into the section, but in a second, we're going to be talking about the golden window. And what that means is that this might be the perfect time. If you've been thinking about buying, this might be the perfect time, and we're going to get into all that. Jimmy, are we taking the call, or are we going to go?
I know there was nobody there.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Just want to make sure. Right. So let's talk about the golden window. So what is the golden window, and what national real estate economists are saying is that late December, early January might be the best time to buy in the last 2 years, is what the national economists are saying.
Whoa.
And the reason why they're saying that is that the next 30 to 40 days might be the best chance to get a deal before the 2026 rebound. Okay. And
rebound.
Yeah, so they're thinking, and we're going to get into that next week, Johnny. So I don't want to spill all the beans about that because I really want to hear your opinions on this because I think I agree with you. But the national economists right now are saying that they're at least national economists and realtor economists, like economists that just follow the real estate market, they're expecting that this year, 2026, is going to be the year that the real estate market wakes up and perks up again. And they think I don't want to get into why because I don't necessarily agree with that opinion, but we're going to talk about that next week. But they feel like there's going to be a big surge. And when I say a big surge, not like a COVID type of positive surge of real estate activity, but it's going to be much better than the last 3 years, right? So it's going to be better, but not like the best ever or anything like that.
Well, I'm really anxious to hear their why because I
promise
baffled.
we'll get into next week because then it'll be better if we do it next week.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about it next week. So just bear with me.
Yeah. Ignore this part. Ignore this part right here.
He's biting at the bit.
Yeah, you're bringing up stuff that I can't even touch on, which is
I know it's sounding crazy. It's like
look, but don't touch.
Yeah, so let's just leave it till next week.
Okay.
But the theory is that if the national economists are right and that we do have this surge next year, that this might be your perfect window to buy right now.
It feels like a good sales pitch is what it feels like.
Well, here's a couple of things they're saying. You can't wait. And here's some things you're probably going to agree with. They're telling you, if you're waiting for the interest rates to drop, you're waiting.
But we don't need them to tell us that. We say that literally every week for 13 years.
But it is confirmed.
The interest rates is an aspect. Yeah. If that's your focus, you're doing it wrong. Mm-hmm. It's an aspect. It's a part of the equation. But if it's your only part of the equation, well, you're not seriously a buyer. You're not really interested in buying a home. Well,
the thing is that because we had that super low interest rate like Steve got, when I'm assuming he refied the house at that time because he's seen a lot of equity in the house growth since a
caller from earlier in the show,
just cut. Thank you.
Who had a less than 3% interest rate. Yes.
2.75. Really nice, right? Those people, they had the super low interest rate and then they saw their value of their home increase dramatically. When that guy Steve was talking, what I was thinking in my head right away was 2022 and 2023, he probably saw between 30 and 40% increase in assessed value for taxes for both those years, 30-something% or more for both years, because I've seen that trend a lot, 22, 23, that's what we saw. 24, 25 slowed down a lot. So between the low interest rates and then the prices being high, people thought that when the prices got high, that they were going to see a drop in the interest rates, but that did not happen. And we've been so steady since September. We've been between 6 and 6.5%, and even 6.5%, I'm pushing it a little high, right? It's really more like 6.3-something%, but we've been between 6 and 6.5%.
Which is amazing.
From September all the way until today.
Yeah.
The interest rates this week on Thursday, they came and dropped 0.03. We're at 6.18 right now, 6.18. Over the last 30 years, that's it's not a low interest rate, but it's definitely not a high interest rate. It's kind of like on the lower.
I consider it a low interest rate.
Well, the reason why I'm not saying that anymore, Johnny, when we used to do the 40-year, the average interest rate was between 7 and 9%. But because we had those low interest rates for so long, that it's actually kind of skewed those numbers. And now I'm looking at the 30-year track because I feel like the 1980s and stuff doesn't really work with today's economy where you had 17% interest and stuff. It just isn't part of this economy right now. So I'm doing the 30-year. And 30-year, it's probably instead of 7 and 9, it's probably 6 to high 7s is probably that group. So we're at the lower end of a normal interest rate right now for what I see. So if you're waiting for the interest rates to drop, I'm going to tell you why they're going to drop, guys. The only reason why they're going to drop is because we have another national economic crisis. And I'm going to tell you what it's probably going to be. If we do have a drop, I'm not saying we will, but if we do, it's all about employment.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about employment. And it was so nice. I saw a national economist just a couple of days ago I can't remember the guy's name, where I read this story and I'm like, I agree with you. Everything you're saying right now, I agree with you, because he said it's all about the unemployment rate. The rest of the economy's been cooking along kind of at a steady rate. Consumer confidence, while it's gone up and down, it's still very strong for spending, or consumer spending still strong.
It's hard to shake our confidence in spending.
It's like we are the worst spenders ever, right?
We are the consumers of the world. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard to shake our confidence in consumer spending. That is a really daunting task.
You really have to do some really screwed up stuff in order to make it, and we've gone through that. We've seen it happen a couple of times.
But we're resilient when it comes to spending.
So until we start seeing that the unemployment, and right now this economist was talking about how unemployment, even though that we had a great GDP, like the last GDP that just came out was 4.3%, that made my mouth drop to the floor. My jaw dropped to the floor, not just drop, but all the way to the floor.
It makes no sense.
I just don't see it.
It makes no sense. Those numbers you talk about foggy.
I think it's AI.
Makes no sense.
I think it's all about money being thrown in the stock market for AI. I think AI is.
But you look at what we bring in versus what we send out. You're like, how do we get our GDP number to where it's at?
Well, I don't really have the answer for that, and I don't want to get into politics.
Well, it's not politics. It's not. It's just it's a matter of what we bring in versus.
I see what you're saying.
It's just the variance is so vast that the GDP number that it just doesn't seem to fit.
I'm not an expert enough about GDP to know if we're producing more or producing less. I'm being real with you. I don't really know.
That's me neither. That's why I say it's just kind of wonky. The number always feels way off to me.
I never felt it was way off for the last like 6 or 7 years. We were like, before 2020, right around 2020, I should say, we saw for years from 2017 to 2020, what we saw was very, very low GDP. It was almost anemic, right? We weren't growing at all. And everybody was complaining, we're not growing, right? But our inflation was really low at that point too. It was super low. The reason why inflation was low is because we weren't producing anything. We weren't producing the way that we normally produce. We weren't the juggernaut for whatever reason. We were below 2% for GDP. Then in 2020, because of the COVID economy, at first it destroyed our economy. Then it made our economy go on fire like we've never seen in a very long time. During that period, we saw inflation spike up tremendously, right? But it
was all supply.
But then because we had supply, it was all supply and demand on that, right? And then once we got our supply chain working across the world, we started seeing the inflation go down. But GDP wasn't really picking up that much. It still wasn't picking up. Then it started picking up again towards 2022, 2023, 2021, 2022. That's when GDP started picking up a little bit, but that only got us into the mid twos. I don't even think we hit a 3. And now we're at 4.3. And I don't know what that means yet. I was a little surprised by that number because I feel like the job market is very, very weak right now.
And the whole reason for the last cut from the Fed was to get the job market kind of cooking again, which again kind of makes no sense in that explanation. You're like, so we're gonna give access to dollars for these corporations
so they can hire people.
Not gonna. Yeah,
it's supposed to open up the thing that they feel more confident that they could hire for the future. But the problem that
fluidity for the workers, so we have somewhere to maybe go, or you don't feel pinned into your job. Yeah, it's not shaking out that way.
The economist was Mark Zandi. I remember now, right? And Mark Zandi, he's a pretty well-known economist. He's bounced around from agency to agency, but he's been around for a long time. This Mark Zandi guy, and he also said the same thing you did, Johnny, which is the fluidity of the job market is very tight right now. There's not a lot of fluidity. So what he's saying is the good news is employers aren't laying off massive amount of people yet. They're holding on to the ones they got because they don't want to hire new people. But at the same time, they don't want to add on new people. They're going to try to keep the people they got and make them work more efficiently. And that's the other thing I think this cycle is going to be different about the fluidity. The Fed isn't going to be able to control that corporations supposedly are using AI more and more and more, which means you need less and less real people, right? And that is going to be something that the Fed can't control, right? So even if they do reduce money, to make it easier to spend money for corporations by having lower interest rates and the money's easier to get, you're still going to have a problem of how they're going to spend that money, because they might end up spending the money on AI and not people.
Well, and there's a tug of war too, because all corporations are all about a bottom line, right? It's all about the money that they make, sometimes answering to your board, your investors. There's also incentivized in tax codes to automate. So, I mean, it's this weird spot where you're like, yeah, we got to make jobs, but you're incentivized to automate through the tax codes. So I don't know. As a corporation, I just feel like they're absolutely going to go to more automation because it only makes sense to their bottom line.
If you take this to the extreme, though, that all the corporations just start AI and everything, like automating, let's call it automate everything, right? Whether it's AI or machines, like making your cars and stuff like that, right? And they do all that, and let's say it really infiltrates everything in the country. Who's going to have a job that's going to buy all the stuff that's being made? We're not going to have anybody to buy this stuff, right? We can make the stuff. We don't need people to make it anymore. But then who's going to be around to buy it? I don't got a job, right? I got kicked out of my job. How am I going to buy that thing? Right? So I don't think this whole thing has been very thought out very well. And you just looked at me like I never thought about that.
Yeah, well, at that point, we all get checks in the mail.
Well, that's what Mr. Elon says.
Yeah.
Right?
At that point,
we're not going to have to need money anymore, and that
you need money, but you just get it sent to you.
I read a headline recently that he just said that don't worry about saving for anything. Just spend all your money. It doesn't matter about saving anyway. It must be nice when you're a 100 billionaire.
Well, hey, Elon,
tell you not to worry about.
Welcome to the economic plan for many of us over the years.
Yeah, exactly. That's been our plan.
That's been our plan, dude.
Well, the reason why he's saying that, he still wants us to be the great consumer, right? So
we are. We are. Don't you worry. We are.
So very interesting, but we kind of got off track. So why would this week? Why would this
golden
30, 40 days, 45 days be the golden window? Okay, so the first thing is that if this bubble, I shouldn't call it a bubble, if this burst, well, I shouldn't say burst because that sounds like a problem.
Yeah, well, the only thing
if this increase in activity, if this increase in activity compared to the last couple of years actually happens in 2026, people just go, I'm fed up. I've been waiting for years to do something. I want to sell my house. I want to buy my house. I've been waiting years and years. Interest rates have been the same now for a very long time. I guess if I'm going to do it, I need to do it now. It's not going to change any differently. And that's what the national economists are saying right now, is that where we are right now is where they're predicting where we're going to be at the end of the year as far as interest rates. Now, they're also expecting that prices will increase over this year. They're not expecting a decrease. Nationally, they're expecting a overall increase in property values appreciation.
Well, they're expecting the market to heat up, and that's an obvious connection, isn't it? Because if it doesn't heat up because of a collapse, so if the bottom falls out, we're going to heat up.
Well, I'm not saying that the bottom's falling out.
It's not going to happen, right? So they're saying that it's going to heat up at these levels that we're at. It's only going to get hotter.
Yeah, and I don't want to get into it right now, but I'll tell you next week why they're saying that. There's a reason. I don't agree with it at all, but this is what the national economists are saying. Okay, that part. Now, whether or not we're going to have increase in activity next year or not, regardless of the numbers, right, the reasons why, there is a pent-up demand of people that want to sell and people that want to buy but haven't done it yet, right? Last year was a record year. This year, actually, 2025 was a record year for what was called the D-listers, right? Not the D-listers, right? D-E-L-I-S-T-E-R. The people that put their house on the market, they weren't satisfied with the results they got, and they go, I don't think I need to sell my house right now, and they delisted the property. They took it off the market.
Sure, and even with that said, our inventory is still really strong.
Yes, we have about 5.5, between 5. just a little under 6 months of inventory almost everywhere across the southeastern Florida, all the way up to Indian River.
That's why I can't wait to hear the details as to why they think things are
next week, John.
Because there's so much not really going to change, except for, I guess, in their perspective, is people are just going to finally hit the end of their rope. I can't
They're
wait
predicting
to hear what
this one thing to happen that's going to change everything, and I don't see it coming.
Oh, man.
I know. Next week, guys. Next week. Our anniversary week. That's what you can talk about. So here's the thing. The next 30 days might be, if you're thinking about buying in 2026, this next 30 to 45 days may be the time for you to actually do it now. And let me give you a couple of things. Inventory is still pretty high, as Johnny just talked about. We have about 5 months of inventory or more throughout the southeastern part of Florida. And 5 months is not really normally a seller's market. It's like a weak seller's market, not a strong seller's market. But because of the craziness with the interest rates and lack of activity for the buyers for the last several years, 5 months of inventory is a pretty strong buyer's market right now. You can get deals out there if you do it correctly.
We've talked about it for quite some time, about how you can get concessions. If you're negotiating well, you can do well as a buyer.
Yes, and think about all the opportunities you have. First of all, if you're buying new construction, the builders are giving out so many discounts right now to get you to buy their houses. I know not everybody, I know a lot of people listening right now are like, new construction, that's on fire. I just see everybody building. It's not happening, guys. You might see stuff that started building, they're not finishing it, or they're finishing what they started, but they're not starting new stuff in most communities. Most of these communities that are being built, planned communities, they're stopping on the construction for the rest of the community till the market gets stronger. Okay, so the builder incentives are really, really good out there right now. Okay, that's one of the things. The second thing is you have a lot of inventory for the resale. So if you want a resale house, I was just talking to somebody last week. They're moving from Central Florida and coming back down here, and they want a certain price point, and they're looking for a certain type of house. I'm like, you're probably not going to get that at the price point in Palm Beach County right now.
Yeah.
But we can still get you a deal. I don't know if we can get you that kind of deal. And I explained how we would go finding the deal in the type of property she's looking for, right? And if you have the right plan, you can go in there and you can find the sellers that are really motivated, not the future delisters that are unmotivated, that have their house on the market. They're really not going to sell it. But you can find the ones that are really serious about buying and will be grateful to have you come in and buy their property. There are sellers out there that have that need right now. So that's another reason why you need to start doing it right now. Another thing is the down payment assistance program. Mike said that if you're a Hometown Heroes candidate for the down payment assistance, there was still like $15 million left in the account, which is unheard of in December to have Hometown Heroes money left over at the end of the year. But there was, as of 2 weeks ago, there was $15 million left. I'm pretty sure there's still money there.
That's a ton of money.
So there's money there, and you can get up to $35,000 to help you buy a house. If you can't get that program because you're not the right profession or something, you could still get at least $10,000 from the state, guaranteed, as long as you're a first-time home buyer.
Yep.
Right? First-time home buyer means you haven't owned a house in 3 years, not that you haven't owned a house ever. Okay? So there's great down payment assistance programs that haven't been gobbled up yet. If we switch over to next year and we do pick up in activity, some of that money will go away very fast. The money's just sitting there right now for you. So you have down payment assistance programs to help you. And if you're at the $1 million to $3 million market, there's a lot of really good opportunities out there right now, because that's the market that's jonesing the worst in South Florida right now, is the 1 to 3 million. Things 3 million and higher, believe it or not, are going super, super fast. But the 1 to 3 million is the 1 to 3 million is where the people are wealthy, but a lot of them can't pay cash for their house. They're still financing, and that makes it a little harder. When you get up past that 3 million, a lot of them are just cash. Right. So there's all this opportunities: luxury market, low income market, first time home buyer market. There's just great opportunities out there. So if you're thinking of buying, remember this. If you hear this while you're driving around or something, is this my golden window? Maybe I should start getting ready to do this now.
Yeah.
So if you're interested and want to find out how to do that, we have the whole team here. We've got me as the realtor, Jim DePaula. We got Mike Rao from the mortgage firm. I hope you want to work with him because he's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have Ross Conmarinets from Brightway Insurance to get the insurance. And here's the best thing. We're going to be able to find out what your real mortgage payment is after you buy the house between these three professions, the realtor, the mortgage broker, and the insurance agent getting together before you buy the house to make sure that you don't get sticker shock after you buy the house as things change as things change when the house is reassessed after you buy.
That's right.
So we can do that for you.
Yeah, you need professional guidance. And the reality is you may know people that are in the industry, and these might be people that you love and care about. Maybe you broke bread over the holidays with them. They might be amazing people, but they might not be great at what they do. They might be good at what they do. But if you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, you're stuck with your home, you don't know what to do, you need professional guidance in the world of real estate. You really want to try to find the best that you can. That's why I encourage you to go to FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. A team of professionals, pros, experts in their field, and they do absolutely work cohesively together. Get all the information that's needed so you can make the right decision for you and your family. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Know it, use it, love it, share it on Facebook and YouTube. Consume away, share. You can change lives, including your very own, with the pros of FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
Thank you, Johnny. Let's go ahead and take a break, Jimmy. I know we're not breaking right at 10 o'clock.
Right.
Let's just go ahead and take the break. The whole day's been a little off for me by about 15 minutes. I woke up 15 minutes late, and I just kept being late on everything right now. So we're going to take a break. On the flip side, we're going to talk about, I read a headline that said that Florida is number 1 in foreclosures in the country.
Huh.
Now, not that we haven't been number 1 in that many times before, but it's kind of interesting that they're saying Florida is number 1 in foreclosures. So I did a little checking. Is it true?
What does that mean?
Yeah. And is it true?
Is it, though?
I don't know. We're going to find out on the flip.
All right. Is this fake news?
Might be.
Fake news. We got lots to get into. Still plenty of time remaining on this Saturday. It's the 27th of December. If you'd like to be a part of the program, don't be shy. Dial in 877-927-6969. And of course, if you're not comfortable on the radio, believe me, I understand. Always remember FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. I told you we're on Facebook and YouTube as well. Consume away. Hit that share button. You really can change lives, including your very own, with the pros of Florida. TalkRealEstate.com. It's a 4-minute reset. We get back at it. Thanks for being with us every Saturday. Florida Talk Real Estate right here on Real Radio.
We're everywhere you need to be.
I've been everywhere, man.
Tell your smart device to play Real Radio 92.1 on iHeartRadio. Here's the latest with weather on Real Radio.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. The once-a-year sale and clearance is here. Upgrade today with Mattress Firm's quality selection of top brands. Let their sleep experts find the perfect bed to help transform your nights. They make sleep easy.
Hey, it's your boy Johnny C here, host of Florida Talk Real Estate. They're tops when it comes to helping people buy and sell houses. But Florida Talk Real Estate, that for 5 years, I've watched these guys help thousands of our listeners with any real estate need. They couldn't do it without their sponsors, who are experts in their fields. Check it out. Jim DePaula, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Their team specializes in helping people sell their house for top dollar, and buyers get great deals on the purchase of their home. That's what they did for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier that I hired them for my real estate transaction. Mike Rao from the mortgage firm is one of our favorite guests on the show, and he is the mortgage guy. Whether you're looking for a refi or a mortgage to purchase a new home, Mike Rao will get you the answers you need. The mortgage firm is licensed to do loans in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, and they have local offices that cover all of South Florida. So if you're thinking about a refi or a new mortgage, go to the mortgage guy, Mike Rao, and find out what he can do for you. The Mortgage Firm, Inc., NMLS 189233, Florida license MLD 78, equal housing lender. The law office of Paul A. Krasker has been specializing in real estate law for nearly 25 years and has the professional team you need. Upside down with your house, Paul's team can help you conduct short sales, loan modifications, even if you're behind on payments. They also help you with foreclosure defense and bankruptcy. They can even help you get a student loan modification and repair your credit to get the score you need. Paul's full-service team has helped thousands of our listeners, and they can help you too. Trident Title LLC is the largest privately owned title company in Florida. When you need a title company to complete a refi, home purchase, or sale, Trident Title has got you covered. Not only do they offer competitive pricing, Trident Title has attorneys on staff to make sure if you have bumps in the road declaring title that you can get the job done. Beware, not all title companies in Florida have attorneys on staff. Trident Title does and complies with all the new federal regulations released last year. Ross Camaronets, owner of Brightway Insurance, has been helping our listeners get great rates on homeowners insurance plans. Haven't checked your homeowners insurance policy in a while? This is a great way to help reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Ross can also help with renters and auto insurance. Ross is only a phone call away and can usually get the answers you need same day.
Call Ross today at 561-425-6228 or drop by his office at 873 Donald Ross Road in Juno Beach.
So now you know why I'm happy to be part of the Florida Talk Real Estate Show, the longest running real estate show in Florida. And all these sponsors are just a phone call or a click away. Just call 888-973-7828. That's 888-973-7828. Or go to floridatalkrealestate.com. That's floridatalkrealestate.com. And don't forget to use the most accurate search engine to find your new home or ask for a free home valuation because floridatalkrealestate.com has you covered. That's floridatalkrealestate.com.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. This is Florida Talk Real Estate with Jim DePola and Johnny C. Got a question for the show? Call us live at 1-877-927-6969.
Yep, that's it. 877-927-6969. Still plenty of time remaining. Almost 40 full minutes on this Saturday, 27th of December. Johnny C is me. Jimothy's our producer extraordinaire. What's up, my dude?
Hello, and good morning.
Good morning. And our fearless leader here on this Saturday. 13 years now, I've told you he runs a top-producing Keller Williams team. That's the Florida Home Pros team with Keller Williams Innovations. Jimmy D, it's Jim DePola. How you be?
I'm doing good. I don't know about holding the fort together or anything. I don't feel like I'm doing that at all today.
That's all propped up. It's good.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to get into foreclosures in Florida. How many years have we been talking about, Johnny? When I say we, talking about other people telling us, oh, the market's going to crash. The market's going to crash. The market's going to crash. I've been hearing that since like 2016, right? It's like it's going to crash. Now, we did have a crash in 2020, right? Because everything just stopped for 9 months, right? From January until like September 2020. And then everything woke up. Everybody's like, hey, I don't got to live here anymore. I can work wherever I want. My boss will let me go anywhere. And then all of a sudden, the market just blew up.
It went insane.
Yeah, it went totally nuts. So we've been following this now for a couple of years. And at one point, we were in the mid-60s for amount of active properties on the MLS. So I wanted to show you a couple of things. So right now, we have 57,102 properties. I'm live on the MLS right now. 57,102 properties on the MLS right now. That's about like 8,000 less than what we had as the high as we gone through that. So 8,000 on 60. So that's like a 12% decrease in properties that were at the peak for sale.
So either
right
took their listing down, sold, closed,
expired, canceled listing,
Yep.
Expired, cancel, temporarily off the market. All those things could take things off the active.
Sure.
Okay.
They all could have sold and come off the active too.
They could have
But
been 100% sale, but that isn't like real life. But 57,000. So let's take a look and find out how many foreclosures we have out of those 50,000 properties for sale. So out of those 57,000, wow, it's gone up 739. So 739, remember that number. And then how many short sales do we have? Now, just for people, what's the difference between a foreclosure and a short sale? A foreclosure is when the bank has taken the house back in a legal lawsuit, has taken the house back and now owns the property and is putting it back on the market to sell it as a bank-owned property, okay? Now, a short sale is where the owner still owns it. They owe less than what is owed. They owe more than what is, the property is worth less than what is owed on the property, right? So they might owe a $500,000 mortgage and it's only worth $400,000, right?
So the foreclosures, they don't count until the bank has taken the property back and it's hitting like auction or sale. It's not counted as a foreclosure if it's just in the process.
No, if it's in the process, it is. If it's just in the process, it's called pre-foreclosure.
Gotcha.
Right now, that's why in real estate they don't call foreclosures foreclosures. They call it real estate owned, REO. They don't call it a foreclosure. Like when I search, I have to search for REOs.
REOs.
That's because the bank owns the real estate. That's what that means, real estate owned by the bank, right? Then you have the short sales where it's owned by the seller. The seller's taking a loss on the house and they're trying to get the bank to let them walk away from the difference that they can't come up with. Now, out of that, we had 739 foreclosures for sale. We have 269 short sales for sale. So that comes out to what's 239 minus 739 real quick.
239 minus what?
239 plus 739. 739. That's 978 divided by 57,102. We have 0.17% foreclosure and short sale market right now. When we started doing this about a year and a half ago, we were under 0.5%. A normal market is 1 to 3%. So remember when we were saying we're at 0.5? I was like, even if we tripled, we're still at the low end of the normal range, which is exactly where we are. We're right in the middle of the normal range, basically 2%, 1.7%. So at that point, we just in a normal foreclosure market. What does that mean, a normal foreclosure market? That means life happens. No matter if you're in a good market or a bad market, historically, 1 to 3% of the properties that are active on the market are normally foreclosures and short sales because life happens. People get divorces. People have health issues. People pass, right? All of this, they lose their job and can't get a new job. All of those things could happen. And that's why people's houses turn into short sales and foreclosures in a normal market. This is not an abnormal market right now. This is a normal market. We're not seeing a rash of properties going on the market as a short sale or foreclosures or bank owned because the owners lost their job and they don't know how to make their money or anything. It's a very normal market right now. However, the reason why I did all this research yesterday about this was because I started reading headlines a couple of days ago saying that Florida is number one in foreclosures throughout the whole country. And they were saying that we had 1 out of every 1,800 homes in Florida are in some type of foreclosure. Now, this doesn't include short sales. They're saying only foreclosures, right? So if we had 1 out of every 1,800, 739 divided by 57,102, that only comes out to like 1 out of every 1,200 homes, right, is in foreclosure, not at 1,800.
So it's actually worse than the numbers indicate.
Well, I know, but the thing is that they're saying it isn't everywhere. So our market might be a little better than some of the other markets. So what they're saying is, this is a report coming from Attom, ATTOM, which is a data think tank about real estate market. And they're saying that we're the top spot in volume, that we have more foreclosure starts than any other part of the country right now. Now that's different. Okay, a foreclosure start means that the bank has said, hey, you haven't made your payment for at least 3 months, because that's the law in Florida. You have to miss 3 payments before you can be foreclosed on. But you've missed at least 3 payments, and now we're going to start the foreclosure process. That's called a lis pendens, P-E-D-E-N-S. And when that happens, the bank is trying to take the house, but you still own it, right? So that's just called a foreclosure start. In the whole state of Florida, there were 4,100 starts.
And at that point, you get current, you're out of list pendants.
Yes, if you make the money, if you pay all the money back plus the late fees and the garbage fees they charge you and everything, then you're not in foreclosure anymore. As long as you pay the money back,
you're current.
You're current. During that foreclosure process, if they actually take the house away from you, then you don't own that house anymore and you can't take it back. In Georgia, you can. You have a year to redeem the property after you lose it to foreclosure. That's why a lot of people don't do foreclosure deals in Georgia, because they're very complicated.
Yeah.
You could buy the house, fix it up, make it everything. And if the person comes back within the year, they could just buy the house. They could pay it off and get the house. So you don't want to do that.
Wow,
that's pretty crazy.
weird,
Yeah, it's
right?
called a redemption period.
So if the bank puts it in foreclosure, they sell it
to you. Let's say
to you. Somebody can come back. I could see if it was still in limbo, right? And the bank still owned it. That would make sense.
Right.
All right. You still had the opportunity to get it back from the bank, but not somebody else that purchased it.
Yeah. So I don't know
Whoa.
investors in Georgia. I don't know if they like buy the house and hold on to it for a year before they do anything in case the person comes back. I don't know.
Yeah,
how
because
that works.
do you recoup your money that if you've invested into your property?
Yeah,
do
it's
you
like I
recoup
don't know
those
how
dollars?
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, that's what I like about the South.
So what they're saying is, according to Adam, is that there were 4,100 foreclosure starts in the state of Florida, which is more than Texas and California, which have much larger populations. So they're saying that Florida is like the really bad state right now.
Much larger populations?
That's what I'm just telling you what Adam is saying, right?
Come on, Adam.
Yeah, because I don't agree with this. So I went back and looked. So it doesn't make sense. We're at 1.7. This could be the canary in the coal mine, another canary in the coal mine, because we have been seeing the foreclosure and short sale rate going up and up and up. It's tripled since we started looking at this when it was 0.5%, right? So we have seen a triple of people that have gotten in trouble, but we're just at normal. So when we're at 0.5%, that was the gravy days. There weren't people being foreclosed or short selling their properties in a normal market. It was actually a better than normal market for foreclosures and short sales, meaning that we had less. So there was less stress in the market, or less stress of homeowners. But now that seems to be ticking up. It's like, are we in the pot? Are we in the pot of water that the things turned, the heaters turned on, and we just don't know that we're going to start boiling soon? Or is this just like normal market? We don't know yet. So we're still in the flip coin. So here's a couple other things I looked at.
Can I just real quick?
Mm-hmm.
So as we're sliding into a normal market as far as inventory, right? And we've been sliding into that for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting more to where it's kind of that middle zone, but it's shifting a little bit more to the seller side, because again, it's just there's concessions to be had out there if you negotiated well. So as we're sliding into more of a normal market, inventory based, wouldn't you expect more normal foreclosure? Like, shouldn't that just inherently be part of the normal market? That's part of the normal market. This certain percentage of homes that are foreclosed on, as you noted, life happens. There's an expectation that a certain amount of homes will go into distress, and we're just into the normal number. Why are we sounding alarms when we're kind of hitting the norms?
That's the thing that bothers me about the last couple of years. It sounds like my audio is different now. Does it sound different to you? Maybe it's my headphone.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's bothered me the last couple of years. Since when we got up to 9% inflation rate, 9.1% inflation, in 2020, which was nuts. I mean, we haven't seen that in a very long time. And it was because of the supply chain, because the tankers couldn't go every place they needed to go and get all the food, all the supplies everywhere. And the supply chain was all screwed up. It took a long time. It took us like 18 months to get from 9.1 down to under 3, right? And under 3 was, to me, was a little sketchy. I felt like we were right at 3, but they were trying to make it sound like it was under 3 for inflation. And inflation, what they try to do is the goal is this magical 2% number is supposedly the soft number that you want to be. You want to have some inflation, but not too much, and 2% is what they voted on. So we got down to 3, and a lot of people were complaining back then, this economy sucks, the economy sucks, everything costs too much. And I kept saying, I don't get it. We have one of the strongest employment numbers ever, so everybody's working. Our wage growth, not at the beginning, but towards the end of that inflation drop, we started seeing wages go up pretty good comparatively.
Min wages were getting raised, so that helps. I don't think for most people they probably saw it, but minimum wage was coming up, so inherently wages are coming up.
And while all those regular indicators, the CPI was showing that inflation was going down, but not completely wiped out and stuff, during all that time, people were complaining, we need better. We need better. We need better, because behind the scenes, we had highest credit card debt in a very long time.
Record.
People having a hard time making their car payments. Car payments are out of control anyway. I think the average car payment, what do we say, $978 or something like that?
And the repo man was the most active in, what did they say, 14 years?
Yes.
Was that the number?
Yeah, something like that. So there's so many stress indicators. But there were so many things that showed the economy is strong. The consumerism didn't really stop. Nobody really slowed down.
We flex pretty good.
So everybody complains, but they're still spending, right? So I was like, why is everybody saying this so bad? Then we got into this year, right? And at the beginning of this year, and this is what people forget, the beginning of this year, our inflation rate was roughly between 2.7 and 3% was the inflation rate when we started the beginning of this year. Right. Our unemployment was 4%, 4.0. Right. What's another thing? So inflation, employment. What are a couple other indicators? Well, basically, those are the two main things we got to worry about: inflation and employment, because that's what the Fed worries about, right? To try to keep things going. Now, where are we at the end of the year? Right. We're at 4.6% versus 4.0% for unemployment. I got to tell you, that is not a bad number in the long run. It is not a bad number, right? 4.6 or 4.0. I remember when Bill Clinton got under 4%, and everybody was complaining that there wasn't enough fluidity in the job market because everybody was so tight because of the tight job inventory.
That's kind of where we're at now.
It's kind of where we are right now.
Yeah.
So this higher unemployment rate actually helped. Like in Clinton's time, when the unemployment rate got higher, it actually helped the economy, believe it or not, because people started moving around on jobs. It's like, I'm leaving this job to go to the new job. So where unemployment isn't like out of control, our inflation is really not that bad historically. We're under 3%. And now we just got this GDP report that is the strongest GDP report. You know what, Johnny? It might be the strongest GDP report we've ever seen since we've been on the show in 13 years. I don't think we ever had a 4 in the GDP report in a long time. And I might be wrong on that. I haven't looked up GDP. I'll look up for next week. So everything seems to be kind of flat, but like stable, but nobody's happy. Everybody's on edge, right? About the economy. It's like, when's the shoe going to drop?
I'll tell you why. It's because they spend too much damn time on their phones and they're not living their life.
Yeah, it's like if you ignore and
just go live your life, everything will be much better.
I kind of agree. If you take out the flotsam jetsam,
get rid of the nonsense that fills your life with if you dump all that, it's much better.
Yeah. And you try to make lemons out of lemonades. Like, I got to be honest with you, last year, this year was an okay year for me. I mean, comparative to other agents, I found out Keller Williams sent me something in the mail a couple days ago. I'm in the top 100 agents in the whole region for Keller Williams right now, and I was invited to this special group because they need to keep all the people that are in production. But I'm in the top 100 in the region right now.
Well, I say it every Saturday. Top producing Keller Williams team.
But my numbers historically for me are not that great. Now, last year was horrible. So I made lemonades out of lemons instead of buying the house this year that I thought I was going to buy because I didn't make the income I wanted to make this year. My income was low enough where I got a tax credit to buy an EV. Right. So I took advantage of the tax credit, which I couldn't have the year before. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll buy the car now and then I'll buy the house next year.
So you have to celebrate the little wins or we never celebrate.
You work with what you got.
That's it.
You work with what you got. And that's why people should use down payment assistance programs and things like that. There's always things out there.
If cash is your hurdle, there are ways to spend other people's cash to get your home bought. If that's your hurdle. And again, we really do talk about this a lot. If you're filling in the blanks in your situation, let's say you rent for $2,800 to $3,000 a month, you can afford more house than you think. And if you're filling in the blanks with your own imagination and your own numbers, you're really doing yourself a disservice. Just get the professional guidance. Get an understanding of what your reality can be. And the reality might be that maybe right now is not the time for you, but you'll have an understanding of what it'll take. Knowledge is power. I know that's easy to say, but man, is it something that you can chew on when you have the knowledge and the power that it comes with it. Understanding. Oh, I can afford that actually. How about that? Look at that. And with that down payment assistance, I'm moving forward. We're out looking at homes. Because I think the cash is the biggest hurdle for most people. And
yes,
I think that's an obvious land.
I agree.
We'll call that a finger roll. There's at least 10 grand out there for down payment assistance. I used it. Like I had a lot of people do a lot of things to help me on my path to become a homeowner. That is a blessing. You can be blessed in the same ways. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. A lot of the same people that made it happen for me and my family. They'll be fighting for you too. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Don't fill in the blanks on your own. Get a real understanding of what your reality is.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Just to wrap up with the foreclosure, it is actually a tale of two Floridas, though, and that's one thing I want to bring up.
Northern and Southern Florida?
East and West.
Ah.
So the thing is, the eastern side of the state actually has a lower foreclosure rate right now than other parts of the state. So our state is actually our part of the state, and I'm counting Indian River down to Dade County because that's what I cover. Indian River down to Dade County, they're seeing better or lower foreclosure rates than we're seeing in other parts of the country, other parts of the state. So where are the states that are the weakest right now? Tampa and Hillsborough County. They have one of the highest U.S. metro foreclosure rates in the country right now. Now, it doesn't give one in 373 homes.
Ouch.
Okay. Now, the why?
Storm recovery, I'm sure.
Well, what they're saying is that there's a data dump. Hillsborough County is processing a massive backlog of old files that were stuck in the court system, making the numbers look scary all at once.
Huh.
So they're having a logistical problem in Hillsborough where they weren't processing the foreclosures fast enough, and now they're trying to fix it. So now there's a flood of foreclosures going into that area. That's what they're saying. Now there's another one.
Well, that's we need to throw that one out.
I don't know. I don't know
if it's all backlogged.
Yeah, but that means that before we weren't getting the right information. Now we're catching up and
at least kind of getting a little more accurate. Yeah, that's true.
So the second market, there's three. The second market that has a higher foreclosure rate than our market over here is Lakeland in Central Florida. They actually rank number 5 according to Adam for foreclosure rates, and they always do.
Always. Huh?
They're always that area is always one of the highest foreclosure rates in the country consistently. Didn't know that. Lakeland in Central Florida. Why? Working class. They're saying the more working class homeowners and homes are more working class in those areas, and that the monthly mortgage payments are beyond what local wages can support. And what they're saying is that they could afford the houses that they bought until the insurance fees went up and other costs like just normal maintenance costs for the houses, all that went up in cost. And now they can't afford the mortgage payment and do the deferred maintenance and pay for unexpected insurance hits like insurance premium increases and stuff.
Yeah.
The next market is Cape Coral. It's still struggling with the financial hangover from the hurricane recovery and the insurance spikes. So they're really the hurricane damage foreclosures. That's Cape Coral, Fort Myers. And then the safe zone, the number one safe zone for Florida, Miami and Southeast Florida. While condo prices are dropping, actual foreclosure auctions in Miami-Dade have historically been lower or trending differently than Central Florida. The wealth in this region, meaning the Miami Southeast area, and the amount of cash buyers often absorbs the distressed properties before they can get to a bank auction. That's kind of interesting, right? So what they're saying is our market is so strong for cash buyers that when they find that there's houses in distress, they pick them up like Tic Tacs and just grab them,
Sure.
turn them into something.
And I would think that they're just the abundance is less. It's the numbers aren't there. Because why do you go to foreclosure? Financial distress, right? There's something happened in your life to where you can't afford what your monthly obligation is, and after so many months, you go into foreclosure. You said it's 3 months in Florida, right? So you go through a storm or some situation where you're coming out of pocket for a lot of things. At some point, the coffers are empty and you can't afford to carry your nut anymore. You have to have the financial distress. And I you're talking about Miami-Dade, it's probably just not as prevalent. And like you noted, though, when it is, it's desirable enough to where it's not going to sit around. Somebody wants
people are
somebody
looking
wants
for
it.
it. Yeah, people are looking for it. And the other thing is on the West Coast, the problem they had was that insurance churning.
Right.
So they got hit by these hurricanes, and then they had a big fight between the two insurance companies. The flood insurance would say it was a hurricane damage, and then the hurricane insurance company would say it's a flood problem.
And they're sitting in the middle.
And then they still got to make their payments every month, and they can't live in their home, and their home's destroyed.
Yep.
Right? So that's why that particular market is. So every market, what I found interesting about doing this research, every part of the state has a little different reason about their foreclosure rates. It isn't uniform across Florida.
Right.
It's like
not,
a little.
It's not market based.
It's
not the sign of the times that's driving people into foreclosure. It's like you say, it's little pockets. This is why here. This is why here. This is at least predominantly, right? It's never going to be 100%.
Yep, it's so true. So now the last thing I want to talk about the foreclosure stuff is if you are in foreclosure or if you're in trouble on your mortgage payment and you're not in foreclosure yet, but you're about to be and you don't know what to do.
Yeah, don't bury your head in the sand.
That's the worst thing to do in the whole world.
Don't.
Our first advice to you, and most people aren't going to tell you this, is the first phone call you should probably make is to the bank, just to let them know that you know you're in trouble and that you want to see if there's any relief for you, because they do still have forbearance programs and other kind of programs that might be able to help your situation. Find out what they're willing to offer you. And then your second phone call is going to be to us, right? The Florida Talk Real Estate Show. Why? Why would you give us a call? Well, we have a deep history and a great track record of helping people that are in trouble with their mortgage that they haven't been able to pay.
This is true.
We can help them with foreclosure defense if they need that, but that isn't our ultimate goal, because that's just a means to give you the time to do the right thing to get you situated. So don't come to us if you want to just do foreclosure defense and live there for free as long as you can. That's not going to work with us, because that's not an end fix for you. It's just kicking the can down the road.
That's it.
But what we will do for you is get you a plan so that you don't have to kick the can down the road, and we figure out the best plan for you. Sometimes that's a loan modification. A loan modification is where you negotiate with the bank to change the terms of the mortgage you have so that you can afford the mortgage and try to get back on your feet so that you can save the house. That's a way to save the house. The other way to do it is to sell the house. And a lot of people in today, they might have missed 3, 4, 5, 6 mortgage payments, maybe more, and they still got a ton of equity in their house. So all they have to do is to sell the house, grab the equity that they have left over. Most people, that equity is more than enough in order to get you into a really nice rental property, right? I know people are thinking, oh my God, this guy's telling me I'm losing my house and going in a rental. But if you take as much of the equity as most of the people have today, and you do that and you just reset for a year and you just take a break and you know that you have the year paid for up front, and you take all that extra money and you don't spend it, you put it in the bank. And then a year later, you go ready to buy a new home, right? You have all the money for the down payment, probably more than enough.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just do a reset, and it sucks. I went through it once myself. Okay, I did it back in 2009. I had to go through that. It was really bad. but I'm so glad I did it. And it made a big impact on my life to do a reset, and it really helped me out. Another thing we can do is you can also file bankruptcy. It isn't our favorite thing because it puts a ding on your record that you're actually causing yourself by doing the bankruptcy.
Yeah, these are like worst case scenario type situations because there are options way before we end up here.
Yeah, before you go there, but that's another option, right? To help. And how do we do all this? I'm
short
just a realtor.
sale even before that. I mean, that's way before that.
It's very unusual, but
loan mod, short
market,
sale. I mean, those
sales.
are some of the first bites we take.
Yeah. Right. And you're not going to do it only through me, right? I'm just the realtor.
Yeah,
right?
no.
You're
We go to the pros.
Law office of Paola Krasker has been doing our stuff for years and years and years. They have a company called Short Sale Innovations. They have a whole staff that just negotiate with the bank. They know all these banks too. It's like, oh, that bank, I know how that works with them, and all that stuff.
Well, let me highlight too. You mentioned earlier, if you're just looking for foreclosure defense where you live there for free, and the reality is you're not living there for free. You're sucking up all the equity. If you're in an equity position, it's all getting sapped out while you're quote unquote living there for free. The free is the equity's getting sucked out of your home. And the end game is you probably being foreclosed on and just getting hammered in the end, if that's the route you go. If you do it smart, you get ahead, you get with the professionals, you have an understanding of what your options are. As Jim noted, if you're sitting on a nest egg of equity, don't let the banks just strip that from you because of your inability to get to the guidance that you need to get out of the situation you're in. Don't just shy away from it. It's not going to fix itself, but you can take some simple steps, free, by the way, to get to where you need to be, and then get it going, get the plan going. Capitalize on what you've earned. That equity you're sitting on, you've earned over the years. You just have.
And here's another thing that just popped in my head when you were saying that, and I never thought about it this way. When you're not making your mortgage payment and you're in foreclosure and they're tacking on garbage fees like penalty fees, penalty interest, late fees, attorney costs, if that happens, you get there, processing fees. You're paying more than the mortgage payment that you're paying, that you're supposed to be paying every day. You're actually paying more.
All in the name of just, I don't want to deal with this, or I'm scared. Like I whatever the reason is don't let nothing happen.
Yeah.
And I hope that this is falling on deaf ears. I really hope that nobody listening right now is going through it. But even if you know somebody who is, put them on the FloridaTalkRealEstate.com team.
There's a person that called me a couple of weeks ago. I was at an event in Green Acres where people were learning how to deal with like transfer of property issues for people that had a relative that passed, or that they're not well and they need a life trust or something like that, right? So I was at this group and there was a woman there, and her mom passed. They were 60 days late on their payment. She didn't really have the money to pay the mortgage, like to catch up the 3 mortgage payments. And she also has 3 other relatives in a different country that are also part of this probate. And you have to have them cooperate, even though they're in a different country. You can't finish up what needs to do to transfer the property. So I told the woman, look, if you could just make one payment and keep it as a rolling 90-day, we called it a rolling 90-day thing, where if the bank can't foreclose on you till the 91st day of missed payments. So if you're 60 days late and they're telling you they're going to file foreclosure against you if you don't make your payment, if you go in and make that first late payment of the 60 days, like the month before, and you pay that and they take it, that means that you have a rolling 90 days. So now you're only 30 days late because you're only one payment late. And if you start making a payment every time, you're only going to be 30 days late. And if the bank allows you to do that for a while, and many banks will, okay, you could avoid the foreclosure while you're trying to figure out the problem.
Well, you say let you do that for a while. They can't get into foreclosure until you're 3 payments.
But they don't have to take your payment if it's
they
late.
just
They
don't
can make
process it.
What they could do is, if you're 2 months or 3 months late, they can go, you either pay it us all. We're not going to let you kick this down the road. You got to pay it all, or we're going to file foreclosure on you. But a lot of times they'll let you do that for a while. Like be that one payment late because they're getting the money. They're still sending you nasty letters in the mail.
Yeah.
but you're still able to survive. We use that technique a lot while we were trying to do short sales.
It doesn't feel like they'd be able to not take your payment.
Oh yeah, they could do that because you're supposed to pay on every time, or you could accelerate your mortgage after 91 days. Now, here's the other thing though related to that is that the other thing you need to know about that is that by putting your head in the ground and letting the just bank charge you extra fees, you're paying way more money. But with this lady that called me, her name was Sheila, I actually had to do, the family doesn't want to help Sheila with this, and they're going to lose the house to foreclosure. And what would happen at that point is the bank will take the house back, charge you all the fees it costs you to get the house back so they had it in control. Then they put it on the market, and then they sell it. If there's any money left over that they, after they get paid in full for all their costs, if there's any money left over, the family gets it. But do you really want the bank to determine how much money you get as opposed to you control it? So I had to do an analysis explaining to the family members in another country that they have $112,000 in potential equity in that house. That if they sold it today and they didn't have any late fees or anything, they might make as much as $112,000 on this property. This family is not a wealthy family. $112,000 is a lot of money to this family. They can't even make the mortgage payment right now for their mom's place. So I had to put together a video and explain through Trident Titles app where all the money went, where all the money would go if you were to sell it right now, and if you kept the mortgage payment current until we can get the house sold. And if they wait and they sell it later, but they do it through my process, they can lose $25,000, $30,000 just in garbage fees. So that $112,000 now is in the 80s.
Ouch.
Right? And if they do it even worse and they just say, I give up, just let the bank do whatever they want, they're going to get a little tiny piece of that $112,000 left over.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're having a problem with your mortgage, there is help out there. You won't be judged. Nobody's judging you. Everybody goes through stuff, and we want to help you. So if you're looking for good advice on what to do and you're afraid to go up against the bank yourself, give us a call. And the best part, all the consultations for everything, every single thing, talking to a mortgage broker, see if we can get you refi, talking to me to see what options there are to sell and how much money you would make if you were to sell, talking to Paul Krasker to see if there's a way to save the house. All of that stuff can happen for free. And you don't have to search around and go Googling. Need a foreclosure attorney, need a good agent that specializes in houses that are in trouble with the mortgage, need a mortgage guy to see if they can get me in. You have it all right here in one-stop shop just to do it for you. So if you're in trouble on your house, we know there's only a couple of thousand, 1,200 people in the whole area right now that are in that kind of trouble. Well, actually, not even that, because 739 are bank-owned properties.
Well, and they're only going to be counted if they're past 90 days late.
And they're past 90 days.
If you're 30, 60 days late, and you're like, man, I'm slipping into this. Don't fall into it.
Yeah,
Stop
you don't
it.
have to fall into the hole. Stop before you fall into that pothole. Give us a call and we'll tell you how to go around the pothole and get the whole thing fixed.
That's it.
And we have helped tons and tons of people through that. And I hope we don't ever have to go through that, because at the beginning of the show 13 years ago, that's all we were about.
It was
low mod, short sales, foreclosure defense. That's all we did all the time. We are very uniquely qualified to help you. There are not a lot of agents that are around right now that have even gone through all that stuff before, because a lot of them are gone. So we're here to help you. So if you're in trouble with the house, give us a call.
Yeah. And again, you might know somebody that, hey, I know people that, and I'm sure they're great, and they might be pretty good at what they do. But when it comes to stuff like this, do you want them learning their way through this process, or do you want somebody that knows exactly what they're dealing with at every turn? That's what I choose to go with. Pros, people that are great at what they do, experts in their field. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com offers that up. A team of pros, FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
I was searching on AI today, this week, just to see what were the hot topics in real estate across the country right now, right? And one of them I thought was really funny. And they said, I told them I was doing a podcast. What are other people around the country talking about that I should be talking about on my show, just to see what would happen. So one of the subjects, breaking news, Florida insurance rates have flattened. I'm like, wow, that's breaking news. That's like broke news. That news broke a long time ago. It isn't breaking, right? Because we've been talking with Ross now since 2022 of what was going to happen with insurance rates once we changed all those regulations. So I got a little kick out of saying, hey, AI isn't as smart as we are when it comes to this stuff.
All AI is only going to grab whatever articles are being written and give you a synopsis of what it's pulling. And if they're just so we all know, if by the time you're reading it, it has already happened. Like if you're just getting the news, national news, like it's months behind. It's not on the pulse like the show is.
Exactly.
These professionals are all in the grind locally here every day. This is what they do. The finger is on the pulse 100%. When you're reading it, it's already happened. And AI is picking up on stuff that's being written that's just catching up from like way beyond. So, yeah, it's got its advantages, but you gathering pertinent and valid right now news may not be it.
Yeah, there's a couple tricks to it because you're right. It's complete. I had two big, not huge mistakes. I had two mistakes this week when I was doing AI. I was trying to buy a Christmas gift. And I asked how much this one product would be and the service behind the product because you have to buy a monthly fee or whatever. And they gave me pricing on everything. And then I'm like, nah, that price is like way off. And I had them double check it. And then the price went down. And then I double checked it again. Then the price went down. So you can't just trust it over in the first one. Another thing I did recently.
I don't trust it at all.
Yeah. Well, no, there's some. It depends on how you use the tool.
True.
So, like, if you put the right prompts in there to tell them, if you put in the right prompts in there to say that you want to know what kind of where they got their information from, and you want footnotes of everything, and show me the articles you're using for this and everything, that could be really important.
Sure.
Another prompt is I only want certain types of news organizations that you're going to use this information from.
Right. Give me. I want to build in my confirmation bias. Thank you, AI.
Well, the other thing I was reading about recently about AI is there's a bunch of people that's saying AI isn't it. What's really going to be it is quantum computing. And the difference is quantum computing, AI is doing what you're just saying. It just kind of
just gathering.
It's just gathering.
It can't decipher.
Quantum deciphers supposedly, and also it doesn't need anywhere near the electricity that AI does. So you don't need those big data centers that they're talking about all over. Quantum computing, you don't need that.
Well, you know why it won't happen? There's not enough money to be made.
Oh,
that's why it won't happen.
Yeah. So they're thinking that quantum is really, AI is just a step to quantum, and it isn't going to be the be all end all. You know, that's what they're saying. Who the hell knows?
Right.
I don't know. But it's kind of interesting.
Oh, it is.
Are we almost done?
Yep.
Yeah, music means 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We burned through 2 hours. Thank you, guys.
No, thank you, Jimmy.
I just feel like I've been discombobulated the whole morning. So thank you so much. Are you doing anything for New Year's?
I gotta work.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you know what? I don't know. Years ago, just kind of the whole idea of celebrating a new calendar just kind of was lost to me. But I'm down to, make some noise, have a little hoot and a holler, get a kiss from my honey. I don't get too up for the new year anymore though. I don't know. Maybe it's an age thing. Maybe I just suck.
I don't think so. With the amount of concerts you guys go to, I don't think that's
I don't know. It's just when I was younger, I always kind of felt it, but I'm going to say probably around 30, I was like, that's kind of silly.
Yeah, it kind of fades off. And it'll come back. It'll come back a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
It depends on, every other situation in your life. And, the job makes a big deal. I mean, if you've got to work the next day, you're not going to stay up.
Yeah.
So that's a big impact.
I've even found myself when I didn't have to work. It's like, I'm just kind of staying up just to go through the motion. Yeah. Just, whatever.
Or you get together with a party, but again, it's, what are they, what's
amateur
that?
night.
What's that amateur night?
Totally.
Yeah, that's
I can rip it up with the best of them any night. I don't need it to be that night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But no, not to be a douche, but not too big. You gonna yuck it up, Jimmy D?
I think I'm going to chill. I usually chill. I usually actually meditate on New Year's.
Oh, good.
Right. But I wanted to give a shout out to AJ. He just said, Happy New Year. So happy
New Year, AJ. Jimothy, thank you for everything always, my dude.
Thank you, Johnny. Have a great weekend. Jim, you as well. And thank you
too.
for listening.
We'll recap next week. Have a little anniversary show too. It's going to be awesome. Enjoy your New Year's, Jimmy D. And I look forward to our show next week. A little recap and lots of information.
Yes, a lot of good stuff next week.
And